December always messes with your sense of safety. The days get shorter, the nights stretch out longer than they should, and everything feels quieter after dark. People say winter is cozy, but they forget how easily silence can turn heavy when the world goes cold. This happened 3 Decembers ago, right before Christmas. I was living alone in a small rental house at the edge of town. Nothing fancy. One floor, narrow hallway, thin walls, and a backyard that backed up to a line of dead trees. In summer, it looked harmless. In winter, those trees turned into black shapes that swallowed light. I worked late shifts back then, usually getting home around midnight. That night, snow had been falling since sunset. Not a storm. Just steady, endless flakes. The kind that makes everything look clean while hiding everything underneath. When I pulled into the driveway, I noticed something off immediately. My porch light was on. I never left it on. Electricity was expensive, and I was paranoid about wasting it. I sat in my car longer than necessary, staring at the light cutting through the snowfall. I told myself maybe I forgot. December had been exhausting. Long hours, no sleep, non-stop stress. Easy to mess up. I went inside and locked the door behind me. The house felt warmer than usual. Not cozy warm. Lived-in warm. Like someone had been there recently. I checked the thermostat. It was set higher than I ever kept it. I turned it down and shook it off. Old systems glitch all the time, right? I kicked off my boots and noticed the rug by the door was damp. Not from my shoes. The moisture pattern didn't match where I'd stepped. It looked like someone had stood there for a while. That's when I smelled it. Coffee. Fresh coffee. I didn't own a coffee maker. My kitchen light was off, but the smell was strong, like it hadn't had time to fade yet. I flipped the switch and scanned the room. Nothing looked disturbed. No mugs. No spills. No mess. I stood there, listening. The house was quiet, except for the low hum of the heater and the distant sound of wind pushing snow against the windows. I checked every room. Bedroom untouched. Bathroom clean. Back door locked. Windows sealed. I tried laughing it off, telling myself stress was playing tricks on me. December does that. Short days, long nights, mind-filling gaps with nonsense. I sat in the living room, scrolling on my phone, trying to relax. Around 1:17 a.m., I heard footsteps outside. Crunching snow. Slow. Heavy. Purposeful. They stopped directly in front of my house. I froze, phone glowing in my hand. Through the front window, all I could see was swirling white and darkness beyond the porch light. Another sound followed. Knuckles against glass. 3 taps. Not pounding. Not aggressive. Polite. Controlled. I didn't move. The knocking stopped, but the footsteps didn't leave. They paced the porch. Back and forth. Back and forth. Each step leaving marks that would disappear under the falling snow. Then the door handle rattled. Just once. Like whoever it was only needed confirmation. My heart was hammering so hard I felt dizzy. I stayed silent, lights off, breath shallow. After a full minute, the footsteps walked away, down the porch steps, into the dark. I waited another 10 minutes before moving. When I finally looked outside, the porch was empty. Snow already erasing the footprints. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I found a mug in my sink. It wasn't mine. It was chipped on one side, old, with a faded winter design on it. Christmas themed. Snowflakes and pine trees. The kind you'd find in the thrift store. There were fingerprints on it. I called the police. They searched the house, took notes, reassured me it was probably nothing. Maybe someone mistook the house. Maybe I forgot more than I realized. They left. December days have a way of making you doubt yourself. Bright sunlight, snow glittering, everything looking harmless and calm. That night, I stayed awake again. At exactly 3:02 a.m., my hallway light turned on by itself. The bulb flickered, then stabilized. I sat up in bed, staring down the dark hallway. The light didn't move. No shadows crossed it. Then I heard breathing. Not from the hallway. From inside my room. Slow. Measured. Like someone standing very still, trying not to be noticed. I didn't scream. I didn't move. I stared at the far corner of my room where the darkness felt thicker. The breathing stopped. The hallway light turned off. And the house went silent again. I moved out before Christmas. The landlord later asked why I had left so suddenly. He mentioned something strange. He said the previous tenant had also moved out in December. Said something about not being alone. Story 2. December has a way of making familiar places feel unfamiliar. Streets go quiet earlier. Sounds travel farther. And things you'd normally ignore start sticking in your head. This happened during the December I worked overnight security at a small storage facility just outside the city. It wasn't a sketchy place. Gated property, security cameras, keypad access. Mostly families storing holiday decorations, old furniture, and seasonal junk. December was busy during the day, dead at night. My shift ran from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Winter shifts were the worst. Cold air. Fog rolling in from the highway. And that deep silence that settles in around 2 or 3 a.m., when it feels like the rest of the world has powered down. About a week before Christmas, the calls started coming in. Not emergency calls. Complaints. People saying their storage units had been opened overnight. Nothing stolen. Nothing moved. Just the locks unsecured. Management assumed people forgot to close them properly. It happens. People rush during the holidays. Minds are elsewhere. Still, I was told to keep an eye out. That same night, while doing my first patrol, I noticed something odd. One unit near the back row had its door partially open. Just a few inches. I checked the log. Nobody had accessed that unit in months. I pulled it shut and locked it. Took a picture. Logged it. Around 2:40 a.m., the camera system pinged me. Motion detected. Back row. I checked the monitor. Nothing. No movement. No shadows. Just rows of metal doors reflecting my flashlight beam from earlier. I assumed the wind had tripped it. Then another alert came in. Same location. This time, the camera caught something. The unit door I'd locked was open again. Not slammed open. Not forced. Just slightly ajar. I felt annoyed more than scared. Cold does weird stuff to metal. Expands. Contracts. Old locks fail. That's what I told myself as I grabbed my jacket and headed out. The closer I got to the back row, the quieter it felt, like sound itself didn't want to follow me. My boots crunched on frost-covered gravel. My breath fogged thick in the flashlight beam. The door was wider open now. Inside the unit wasn't what I expected. Instead of boxes or furniture, it was filled with Christmas stuff. Artificial trees. Lights. Ornaments. Inflatable decorations. Everything neatly stacked, like someone cared about how it looked. And right in the center was a folding chair, facing outward, like it was waiting. I scanned the unit quickly. No movement. No noise. Just the low creak of the metal roof cooling in the winter air. I shut the door and locked it again. Hard. That night passed without anything else happening. The next morning, management told me 3 more customers had called. Same story. Doors unlocked. Nothing missing. All discovered after midnight. Over the next few nights, it kept happening. Always between 2:30 and 3:30 a.m. Always units with Christmas decorations. Trees. Lights. Old Santa figures. Boxes labeled holiday. Never summer stuff. Never furniture. Just December storage. One night, while watching the camera feed, I noticed something that made my stomach turn cold. The back row camera angle shifted slightly. Just enough to reveal the folding chair again. This time, there was someone sitting in it. Not facing the camera. Facing into the unit. I replayed the footage. Frame by frame. The figure never moved. No visible face. Just a silhouette hunched slightly forward, like they were staring at the decorations inside. I radio's management. They told me not to confront anyone alone and to call police if I saw someone again. When I looked back at the monitor, the chair was empty. The next alert came at 3:12 a.m. Same camera. Same unit. I didn't go out this time. I stayed glued to the screen, heart pounding, watching as the unit door slowly dragged closed on its own. The chair was gone. The following morning, a woman came into the office shaking. She said she'd checked her storage unit the night before Christmas Eve because she felt like she should. Inside, everything had been rearranged. Not damaged. Not stolen. Set up. Her tree was assembled. Lights wrapped perfectly. Ornaments hung carefully. Even an old Christmas tape player was placed in the corner. She swore she didn't do it. We pulled camera footage for her unit. There was nothing. No one entered. No alerts. Just her unit door opening sometime after midnight. And closing again before sunrise. I quit 2 days before Christmas. On my last night, I left early. As I pulled out, I passed the back row one final time. In the reflection of my headlights, I saw something inside that unit. The folding chair. This time, facing the exit. Empty. Waiting. Story 3. December messes with time. Days blur together. Nights stretch longer than they should. And routines you trust start slipping just enough to let things in. This happened during the December I worked overnight shifts at a small town radio station. Not a big city station. Just local news, weather, and late-night music programs nobody really listened to anymore. The building sat alone near the highway, surrounded by empty lots and old warehouses. During the day, it felt boring. At night, it felt forgotten. My shift ran from midnight to 6 a.m. Most nights were the same. Play scheduled music blocks. Monitor emergency alerts. Answer the phone if anyone called in. Which almost never happened. December nights were quieter than usual. Snow muted outside noise. Traffic slowed down. Even the usual static on the radios felt heavier. The station had one rule that everyone joked about but still followed. Never touch the secondary microphone. It wasn't connected to the main broadcast. It sat in the corner of the studio, covered with a dust cover, unplugged. Management said it was old equipment waiting to be removed. Engineers said it caused interference. Nobody explained further. The first week of December passed without issues. Then, One night around 2:48 a.m., the station phone rang. That alone was weird. I answered it half asleep. No voice. Just faint static and what sounded like wind blowing across an open microphone. I asked if anyone was there. The line disconnected. A few seconds later, the studio speakers crackled. For less than a second, I heard breathing. Not through the phone. Through the broadcast system. I checked the console. Everything was normal. No open mics. No incoming feeds. The emergency system wasn't active. I assumed it was a glitch and moved on. The second call came the next night. Same time. Same silence. Same static. This time, after the line went dead, a voice came through the studio speakers. Low. Calm. It said my name. I froze. Nobody at the station should have known it. Late night hosts rotated constantly. Listeners never got names. I double-checked the console again. Nothing triggered. Behind me, the dust cover on the secondary microphone shifted. Just slightly. I didn't touch it. I finished my shift early and didn't say anything to management. December workloads were brutal. I didn't want extra attention. That was a mistake. The calls kept coming. Every night. Always after 2:30 a.m. Never before. Never after 3:15. Sometimes there was breathing. Sometimes nothing at all. Sometimes faint music played backward, distorted like it was bleeding through old tape. On December 14th, the secondary microphone turned on by itself. A red light blinked slowly. The console registered no input. But the broadcast did. Listening back to the recording later, you could hear footsteps. A chair dragging across the floor. Someone sitting down. Then the voice spoke. Not live. Old. Grainy. Like it came from somewhere decades away. It talked about snowstorms that hadn't happened yet. Read off dates that matched future weather reports. Mentioned a fatal crash on the highway that hadn't occurred. The next morning, the crash happened. Same location. Same details. I confronted the station manager. He went pale when I explained what I'd heard. He unlocked a file cabinet I didn't know existed and showed me printed transcripts. December broadcasts. All from different years. Same voice. Same microphone. Same timestamps. Every incident happened in December. The microphone wasn't removed because it couldn't be. Every time engineers unplugged it, it came back online during winter months. They didn't know why. They only knew it predicted something dark every year. Something that hadn't happened yet. My last shift was December 22nd. That night, the microphone activated again. The voice didn't predict accidents this time. It spoke directly to me. Said I wouldn't be there next December. Said someone else would be sitting in my chair. Said December always needed a listener. I left before dawn and never went back. Weeks later, I checked the station's website. They listed a new overnight host. Different name. Same shift. December has a way of recycling things. Stories. Places. People. If these stories got under your skin, like the video and subscribe to the Haunt Files. Because winter horror doesn't chase you. It waits. And December nights are the perfect cover. If you're still here, share this with someone who loves true horror, and drop a comment telling me what part stuck with you the most. More true December horrors are coming.